Now we will discuss pelvic axis. First figure shows anatomical axis, also called curve of Caras. Second figure shows obstetric axis. Anatomical axis is an imaginary curved line joining the center points of the planes of pelvic inlet, pelvic cavity, and pelvic outlet. It extends from pelvic inlet above and pelvic outlet below. It is C-shaped with the concavity directed forwards. It is uniformly curved with convexity fitting with the concavity of the sacrum. In the upper part, pelvic axis is directed downward and backward. And in lower part, pelvic axis is directed forward and downward. Obstetric axis. Obstetric axis is an imaginary line represents the way passed by the fetal head during labor. It is not uniformly curved. It is J-shaped. Obstetric axis passes downwards and backwards along the axis of pelvic inlet till the ischial spines, where it passes downward and forwards along the axis of the pelvic outlet. First figure shows the plane of pelvic inlet, upper line, middle line shows the plane of pelvic cavity, and lower line shows the plane of pelvic outlet, and C-shaped curve shows the pelvic axis. Second figure shows the J-shaped obstetric axis. Upper line shows the plane of pelvic inlet and lower line shows the plane of pelvic outlet, and blue colored J-shaped curve shows the obstetric axis. So pelvic axis is defined as the imaginary curved path that a baby's head typically follows during its descent through the birth canal during childbirth. Entrance to the birth canal is at the level of pelvic inlet. Descent and internal rotation is at the level of pelvic cavity, and exit from the pelvis is at the level of pelvic outlet. These figures shows 7 cardinal movements of fetus during labor along the pelvic axis and obstetric axis, like engagement, descent, flexion, internal rotation, extension, external rotation, and expulsion. First figure also shows station of the fetal head in relation to ischial spines. Ischial spines are the most prominent bony projections felt on internal examination. The level of ischial spines is the halfway between the pelvic inlet and pelvic outlet. This is also known as zero station. Levels above and below the spines are divided into fifths to represent centimeters. The station is said to be 0 if the presenting part is at the level of ischial spines. The station is stated in minus figures if it is above the ischial spines, and the station is stated in positive figures if it is below the ischial spines. This slide also shows 7 cardinal movements of fetus during labor along the pelvic axis and obstetric axis. Delivery occurs by extension of the previously flexed engaged head. Second figure shows the lower margin of the pubic symphysis acts as a fulcrum around which the fetal head extends. This slide explains the direction of traction along the axis of birth canal in forceps delivery. After application of forceps, we apply traction in the downward and backward direction, then straight horizontal pull, and finally in upward and forward direction. This slide explains the instrumental vaginal delivery with vacuum extractor. First step shows the application of the cup of vacuum extractor on flexion point, and second step shows the direction of traction along the axis of birth canal. Flexion point is the point on fetal head where the cup of vacuum extractor is placed. It is located on the sagittal suture about 6 cm behind the anterior fontanelle and 3 cm in front of the posterior fontanelle. So after application of vacuum cup on flexion point, pressure is generated from 0.2 kg per centimeter square to 0.8 kg per centimeter square, and chignon is iatrogenically created at flexion point, and then traction is applied. Direction of traction is along the axis of birth canal, which promotes flexion and brings the smallest cranial diameter to the pelvis.